For nearly 20 years, football wasn't just a sport. It was a debate, Messi or Ronaldo. Every goal, every trophy, every record, every match added another chapter to one of the greatest rivalries in sports history. But something changed this week for many people. It no longer felt like a rivalry. It felt like goodbye. When Cristiano Ronaldo walked off the pitch in tears after Portugal's World Cup elimination, millions of people felt something surprisingly personal, not because they knew him, but because they had spent years watching him chase one dream. Then, almost at the same time, Lionel Messi stood on the other side of the world celebrating another unforgettable World Cup victory. One legend was grieving, the other was still writing history. The contrast was impossible to ignore. But why did strangers feel so emotional? Psychology has an answer. Your brain forms emotional bonds through repeated exposure. The more often you watch someone celebrate, struggle, fail, and succeed, the more familiar they become. Psychologists call this a parasocial relationship, a one-sided emotional connection with someone you've never actually met. To your brain, familiarity often feels like friendship. That's why losing a hero can feel strangely personal. But there's something even deeper happening. For nearly 2 decades, Ronaldo and Messi represented more than football. Ronaldo became the symbol of relentless discipline, the player who refused to accept limits. Messi became the symbol of natural brilliance, the quiet genius who made the impossible look effortless. People didn't just choose players. They chose values. They chose identities. Supporting one often became part of who they were. Then time did what no defender ever could. It caught up with everyone. Watching Ronaldo cry wasn't just watching an athlete lose. It was watching time remind us that even legends grow older. Psychologists call this symbolic loss. Sometimes we don't mourn the person. We mourn what they represent, the end of an era, the passing of our childhood, the memories attached to moments we'll never experience again. That's why the image of Ronaldo in tears spread so quickly. It wasn't only about football. It reflected something every human fears, the realization that nothing lasts forever. And that's also why Messi's celebration felt so powerful, not because one legend defeated another, but because we were witnessing history while it was still alive. One chapter closing, another reaching its final pages. In the end, this was never really about Ronaldo or Messi. It was about us. Because every generation eventually watches its heroes take their final bow. And when they do, we're reminded that time isn't only changing them, it's changing us too. Maybe that's why millions of people cried. Not because football ended, but because a part of their own story quietly did. This was another piece of the human code. Subscribe and uncover what's hidden in plain sight.